Hi guys, welcome back to the Social Tune, and today we're taking a look at the debut studio album by Creeper, Eternity in Your Arms.
I long for you, a chorus to end it all. And in the rain I scream your name. So darling, just you shut your bleeding mouth. I know I mean nothing to you now.
So here's an interesting question. How important is a band's aesthetic? Sure, the music can be good, but let's not pretend that the way an act looks doesn't have a certain effect on their popularity. And sure, you could easily point to a lot of mainstream acts for this, but to be honest, it's kind of present in the underground too. Like take the snarky, provocative attitude of Sun Kil Moon, the wild energy of Marianas Trench, the theatricality of My Chemical Romance, all music acts with die-hard fan bases who are all at different levels of insufferability. And you know what? In terms of aesthetic, I had so much fun researching Creeper. The lore surrounding this band is deep, intricate, and very well established, especially for a band who has not released a studio album before now. I can't really explain all of it, as that would take an entire video to explain, but here's the gist of it. It's based on the story of Peter Pan. Our protagonist is based on Captain Hook, who according to frontman Will Gould, is the most interesting character in the story. Living in constant fear from both the Lost Boys and the Crocodile, meaning he's the character we can all relate to. Now the equivalent of the Lost Boy in this lore are the Callous Hearts, a mysterious group of teenagers who have been teenagers since the late 1800s. And the Crocodile is the Stranger, a mysterious and dangerous figure. On top of that, our protagonist's name is James Side, based on James Hook, who lost his wife, Darling, or the surnames of the kids in Peter Pan, in a car accident. And on top of all of that backstory, you have the band's disappearing acts, their Twitter account allegedly getting hacked, their killer music videos. This band has a huge talent for theatrics, which I personally have no problem with. I love theater. But does that mean the music is good? Well, as it turns out, yes. In fact, this album is great, a slice of punk rock revival that was a pleasure to sit through. Not too long or too short, but honestly one of the easiest albums to digest that I've heard all year. And so let's kick things off with the bombastic production.
Still your heart exposed now. Suzanne!
Well, first things first, this band is not shy about its influences, whether they be Alkaline Trio, Meatloaf, or David Bowie. And some would argue that they don't really do much to stand out from those acts. Now, I wouldn't say that, but I do definitely see the parallels. This band clearly wants to be the next MCR, and honestly, they might deserve to be. With Will Gould's voice singing strongly across these mixes, never getting drowned out. Which is impressive because the instrumentation on this album is busy. The guitars have a real grit and bite to them as they ring out across Black Rain, Hiding with the Boys, Suzanne, and that's just to name a few. Then you have the fantastic fast-paced drums of Room 309, or the gorgeous piano and backing vocals on I Choose to Live, as well as the fantastic violin courtesy of our female vocalist Hannah Greenwood on Crickets, who apparently had not picked up her violin in years. I didn't notice. And it really does pair beautifully well with the acoustic guitar on that track, as it makes for one of the album's subtler, more melodic songs that is so gorgeous. And those quieter, slower songs like Misery and I Choose to Live are certainly welcome, because otherwise we'd have no chance to catch our breath with how fast-paced and thunderous some of these tracks are. And what's great is, fast or slow, pretty much every single song here has a great hook. This album is so catchy. Honestly, I really enjoyed every single song here. If I had to complain, I'd say that Darling didn't really feel like one of their songs, more like a song that one of their many influences would do. And even then, the lyrics on that track are essential to the progression we see on this album, which I'll discuss in a minute. But first, what about our vocalists?
If you could see the wreck I am these days, you'd have no reasons to stay away. Just hold my hand for a little while. Misery
I'm not going to mince words here. Will Gould is a fantastic singer. He's expressive, he's bombastic, he definitely fits the emo punk scene type that you would expect to see fronting a band like this. And yet, despite being consistently great, he still manages to have his standout moments. Like his quieter, more contemplative tone at the end of songs like Room 309 and Darling. Or his howls on Misery, or my personal favourite, his rich, sarcastic tones on Black Rain. But props must also be given to our keyboardist Hannah Greenwood, who provides great backing vocals on a lot of these tracks, and that's when she's not taking the lead on her own song Crickets, where she delivers an absolutely killer vocal performance filled with so much raw emotion and rage. It was just fantastic. So, what about the lyrics?
If I ever die, let someone let you know it was all your fault. Hiding with the boys in your bedroom, hiding the evidence of dying youth under cigarettes and still perfume.
Again, I can't stress this enough. You really need to research the lore behind this band and check out their previous EPs. But I'll be honest, because after all that build-up going into this album, on my first few listens, I was kind of disappointed. Not that it was bad, but after all of that, this album is just about bad relationships? Really, why would you do that to me after all that build-up? But here's the thing, I eventually came across an interview where they said that they wanted to make an album that was just as enjoyable for new fans as their old ones. It wasn't until I read that and listened to this album again that I suddenly realized something. This album is trying to have fun. Now that may sound odd to some of you, especially considering the pain behind songs like Misery and Crickets, but it actually does make sense. See, this album isn't about bad relationships, it's about one bad relationship, specifically a broken one. On the very first track, it's clear that our protagonist has just been broken up with, and he does not take it well, as he goes out and screams in the rain proclaiming that she means nothing to him. Sure, it's over the top, but it's meant to be, as he proceeds to insult, berate, and guilt trip her across these next few songs. And this would all be completely insufferable if it weren't for Hannah Greenwood and the arc that our protagonist goes through over the course of this album. The songs are so over the top that it's clear that we're not meant to be taking them seriously. Heck, he even calls out God on one of these tracks for not saving his relationship. How emo and self-righteous can you get? Now that's not to say the songwriting on this album is bad, far from it. It actually matches the poetic imagery that a lot of the best bands of that era conjured up extremely well. With my favourite line coming on Hiding with the Boys, hiding the evidence of dying youth under cigarettes and pale perfume. Fucking brilliant. And then you get the pivotal point of this album on Crickets, where Hannah Greenwood, his ex, calls him out on his bullshit. Admitting her own flaws and that she always goes after guys like him, but also making it clear that, yes, he is dating other girls. She knows and she doesn't care because they're broken up. In other words, grow up and get the hell over yourself. And thankfully he does, as at the end of Darling, he admits that even he's sick of this attitude he's putting on. And the fact that he admits his flaws and chooses to move on with his life on the final track gives this album a likability that it really did need and that really does help its case. Because yeah, this is a great album. There may be a few too many bitter songs here, and in terms of progressive maturity across an album, it's not even the same ballpark as I Love You Honey Bear by Father John Misty, but it's still a wildly fun, catchy, and very re-listenable album that I really did enjoy. So yeah, for the third time this week, it's an 8 out of 10. Definitely check out this band whether you're a fan of them or not, because either way, they definitely deserve the recognition. So thank you guys for watching. If there are any other albums coming out in the next month or so, please post them in the comments or tweet them at me so I can listen to them and possibly review them. You'll find a link to my Twitter in the description. Feel free to follow me if you'd like. Please subscribe so you don't miss a thing, and until the next time, I'm Finn, and this is The Social Tunes, signing off.